Now, for a long time, tobacco has been Zimbabwe's top agricultural export crop. Now, there seems to be a battle for the big brother title in the House. It may still be in the early stages, but projections seem to indicate that medicinal cannabis could soon be the new golden leaf. The question now would be, is Zimbabwe geared to enter into this new phase?
It is estimated that the global cannabis industry could be worth $272 billion by 2028. The Ministry of Finance in Zimbabwe is on record saying that they are targeting at least 1 billion market share that will effectively topple tobacco.
Now, that Zimbabwe became one of the first in Africa to legalize production of medical cannabis in 2018, and 57 licenses issued by May this year just goes to show the seriousness of the venture. A good example is a medical cannabis farm and processing plant worth $27 million set up by Swiss Biochemicals Limited in Mount Hamden and commissioned by the president recently. The cannabis project, however, will need a lot of buy-in from locals. The following report perhaps gives the picture of where the country is coming from and where it is going.
In these high-density areas of Zimbabwe, drug abuse has become a thorn in the flesh, and it threatens the future of young generations. Never in the history of the country has drug abuse reached this alarming level.
Especially in street is namuna akafa. Ninya ema drugs yo. Ai ishoma. Pavana vazhinji vatiri kunyatsoziva muno. Vazhinji vacho vapera kutofa chaiko chaiko.
In the middle of such a crisis, the cannabis projects for medicinal purposes are on the rise. This is after the government recently licensed it, and it is projected that its benefits will be invaluable. But against the background of what is happening in the ghettos, there is every reason for some to be skeptical. Founding trustee at Outer Institute, Samora Mamba, says the people need to be educated on the importance of cannabis projects.
I think the primary challenge with the cannabis information and the way it's spread across, there's not much organizations in the country right now that are pushing for the cannabis message and making it available for the masses at face value, you know. Most of the information that we still have moving within the domains of the nation of Zimbabwe in particular on cannabis is still doctored. So there is really a need for a massive information drive to penetrate and reach the masses so that they can see that cannabis is really a God-given plant, as was echoed by the Presidium last week.
Samora Mamba says it is for that lack of information that they will be holding a seminar in Victoria Falls over the weekend.
We're going to be hosting an Altao plant experience in Victoria Falls. The theme is Cannabis, a return to organic technology. In that seminar and in that setting, we're bringing in consultants and first-hand players within the cannabis industry that are going to bring valid information that we can use to build upon a research and working framework for the nation of Zimbabwe with regard to the thrust at which we want to lobby cannabis legislation and formulation to work around.
Recently, the highest office in the land also indicated that abuse of the projects will be detrimental. So, can abuse be entirely ruled out, and how do those in the industry view this?
So as a plant on its own, in terms of the medicinal reach, you know, it goes beyond what is the definition of modern day medicine. So to say people can abuse it in terms of maybe smoking it a lot, in terms of taking a lot of it, it will basically maybe shut you down for a little while, but it will never take your life out. In principle, if you are consuming the plant and its extracts in their purest sense.
What should be clear is that cannabis, when used for non-medicinal purposes, is illegal. And possession of such, when unlicensed, attracts a jail term. The hope is that that will work as a deterrent. For ZTN Prime, I'm Goyechkada.
I mean, what was that number? $252 billion industry.
Yeah.
I mean, we hasten to add here, of course, this isn't about going and smoking it and so forth. This is medicinal cannabis. So please don't get that message.
Don't smoke it. Absolutely. Now, of course, you know, when you use it for medicinal purposes, there are so many values that you achieve from. So, for example, arthritic joints tend to be painful. Yeah. The weed oil that's used from marijuana.
You rub it.
You rub it, and it actually is a very, very effective pain relief.
Oh, right.
Not even just for painful joints
as well.
You know, for actually a lot of ailments that you may be experiencing. If you're a cancer patient, if you have joint issues, even just outside of the arthritis. So there's so many properties to it that actually help. If you have alopecia as well, it has been known to help you at least restore some form of, you know, of your hair. So there's so many benefits to it that we need to fully understand how it is used as a medicine. But of course, the regulation has to be put in place to ensure that it is being used for the correct purpose. Now, when it's been processed, of course, you definitely are not going to use it to get high. You can't. But
it's not strong enough for
the
that.
process of taking from farm to processing plant that might have.
So let me get this straight. You grow it just like a normal cannabis plant.
Absolutely.
But it's the process afterwards.
You know what I heard about it. It actually is supposed to be grown indoors, like an indoor structure, which is very, very expensive.
In a greenhouse,
to do so. I don't know what the difference would be if you grow it outside of that or inside of that.
I think the difference really is just that you can control the environment in the greenhouse and the pace at which it grows and, you know, just the quality of it is a bit more controllable than if it's just an outdoor plant that you are maybe just watering or leaving to the elements. There's a bit more control on that, and therefore you can control the quality of what you extract from it.
I'll tell you what, if we can make $1 billion US from cannabis exports or medical cannabis exports, bring it on.